Yeah, that pulls so nice.
Hi, and welcome to this episode of John's Motorcycle Rescue and Review. Man, today I am pumped. I am super excited. This is a beautiful 1983 Suzuki. It's a GS1100E. And, you know, for those of you who don't know, in 1983, this was, quite frankly, the best all-around motorcycle that money could buy. It wasn't the all-out fastest of the super bikes. It certainly was the quickest in the quarter mile. Even going up against the CBX, the GPZ 1100, and the Honda CB1100F, this was the quicker bike. And it makes just over 100 horsepower, right around 105 horsepower. And it's kind of the swan song for the big air-cooled 16-valve 1100cc motor from Suzuki. The motor in this bike is a version of the motor that debuted in the original GS1000. On this bike, it has the 16-valve heads. That was an upgrade that was done, and they bumped up the horsepower a little bit more in 83. They narrowed the valve angle and increased the duration on the intake cams. And man, just what a cool machine. But this bike has the big disc brakes up front. It's got the anti-dive system, which was super popular back in the day. It's the same as my 82 GS1100E. It has the adjustable shocks in the back for preload, and then they also have rebound damping that you can change here. And this particular bike has 25,000 miles on it, but it is pretty much all original. This is original paint. The paint on the engine is original. Even the pipes are original, and that's the original black chrome finish is still in good condition. So this is just a really, really nice unrestored example. And my friend John was gracious enough to let me do this review on this bike, and so we'll be taking it out here in just a couple of minutes. I'm super excited. I've ridden a lot of Suzukis. I've had a GS1150E and one of the original Katana, the SZ1000s, but I've never ridden one of these, the 83 GS1100E, and what a treat to be able to ride one that's in this nice a condition. And I just want to say thank you, John. It's awesome of you to let me ride this, and I can't wait. So enough talk here. I'm going to grab my helmet and camera. I'll bring the camera along with me, and we'll go check out what this thing is like out on the road. Let's ride.
All right, first thing I am noticing, there's a little bit of a lean to the bars here. It's a pretty sporting stance. It's got a very nice wide seat on it. I'm getting really no vibration at all through the pegs or through the seat. The brakes don't seem bad. The engine sound is nice. It's a stock exhaust, so it's certainly not overly loud. I'm a little bit surprised in the lower speed stuff. The steering is a little bit heavier than on my other GS bikes, and it may be rigged out a little bit more for higher speed stability. But it's just one of the things I'm noticing at the lower speeds here. Power comes on very smoothly. No hiccups in the power band, and at 70 right now, it's just cruising right along. Getting just a little bit of the buzz through the handlebars. Really the only noticeable vibration on the bike. Yeah, the seat is very wide, very comfortable, and with a flat seat like this, you can change positions if you need to on a longer ride. And I imagine this bike would just be really a nice place to spend a day or two just cruising out through the countryside. And even at higher speeds, that little bit of lean into the bars is fantastic. Kind of leans you into the wind a little. Gonna just do a little bit of side to side here to get the feel of it. Definitely and maybe the narrower bars than I run on my other bikes, but it definitely takes a little bit more effort in the steering than my other Suzuki GS bikes. Shifting is super smooth, which I would expect from a Suzuki. On my Suzukis that I have and run on a regular basis, the shifting is world class, and this one's no exception. Very, very nice. Yeah, the way this comes on throttle and the shift quality and the way the clutch engages, everything is really nice and easy. Starting to get a little bit of temp in the oil here. You can see it kind of climbing on the temp gauge. You gotta love a 1100 cc's of low end. Just pulls right away, pulls nicely. Nice thing about these bikes is you really don't have to rev them out to really generate serious speed. They're kind of a sleeper that way. But unlike a smaller displacement bike, they just pick up speed so quickly, even lower down in the RPM range. Looks like we're going to be getting into some nice twisty roads here. This is just a beautiful area of the country to ride. Yeah, what's amazing to me on these old Suzukis is how tractable that power is. They've always got plenty of power on tap, and it's like the further you wind the throttle open, the more power you get, but the motor never acts like it's stressed out. It never complains if you're not revving it super high. And then when you want it, there it is. Very nice. Yeah, these bikes are glorious on this type of road where you can just slow down a little bit, hit the corner, and then just roll on the torque. It just instantly picks up power, but it's so smooth on the power delivery, and it's really one of the things that smoothness and ease of use is one of the things that makes these big Suzukis just so good. And even by today's standards, you know, I ride a vintage Suzuki 1100 all the time, and I'm able to keep up with much faster bikes. And, you know, it's just because they're so well balanced and so nice. All right, on to some twisties. Yeah, transitions are nice. This is very stable. Power is just right there. Very smooth. Now this is not my bike, so I'm not going to be hustling it in the same way I would if it was mine. Just has that eager power out of every corner. No shimmy at all under braking. Very nice. Man, it would be just awesome to spend a day on this bike, hitting the open road. Yeah, the ride on this bike is so nice. It's so not punishing. It has real-world suspension on it, and it'll allow you to hustle it, but it just doesn't beat you up. And it's just why I think this era of motorcycles is so nice. It's just, even today, by today's standards, these things hold up so well. Yeah, that pulls so nice. I don't want to get too carried away here. We in town, and it's not my bike, but man, that just pulls. The more you rev it, the more it pulls. That's awesome. Well, if this were my bike, I would do just a couple of little tweaks to it. Just like I do in most of my vintage bikes, I would probably upgrade the lines to the steel braided units from Spiegler, and I would also probably I might tweak the spacers in the front a little bit, or run some progressive front springs in it, just to kind of keep it from diving. It doesn't dive significantly under braking, but maybe just enough that I might try some different springs in there. But overall, for a stock piece, it's still super tight. Yeah, seriously, what a nice bike.
I'm just going to do a quick walk around here and talk through a couple of things. As an upgrade from previous bikes, the 83 model had the aluminum swing arm, which is an upgrade. It has the adjustable shocks in the rear. As I said, it's got the black chrome finish on the exhaust, the 16 valve head, twin swirl combustion chambers here. It's got the anti-dive unit, and what happens is when you put the brakes on, some of that pressure goes over here to your anti-dive unit, and it makes the damping more stiff in the front shocks. So it supposedly helps keep the bike from diving. My experience with the anti-dive is that it doesn't really work quite as well as they intended, but we will see. One of the unique features on this bike is a big 8-inch headlight. That's really cool. Just walk around to here. I'm going to look at the instrumentation real quick. It has the 140 mile an hour speedometer, and it would do almost that top speed. It's got the fuel gauge, the gear indicator, a bunch of your warning lights here. It also has an oil temperature gauge, which is super nice, even on an air-cooled bike. And the red line is 9,000, probably 400 RPM there. But very, very comprehensive, very good instrumentation on this bike. And again, just the paint work and everything on it is super nice. All right, I don't know if you can tell, but I am super stoked. What a treat. It's really neat to ride a piece of history like this. This was the best of the class of 1983. And it really, you know, one of the things that sets apart a great motorcycle is how well it holds up over time. And the fact that I can get on this bike, and even in stock form, this bike really is all stock, and I can get on it and I can enjoy it, and I can even ride it quickly if I wanted to. And it's still just a really nice performer. It's a nice place to spend the day. This is from an era when a super bike, you could ride it all day long. You could ride it in comfort with a passenger. These are, you know, it's an open GT bike, and just fantastic. You know, it's the kind of bike that you can really do anything on, and it'll do it well. You know, if you wanted to do some touring, put a little bit of a windshield on there, and this thing would be ready to hit the open road. But just very cool. Thanks again so much, John, for letting me review this bike. What a privilege. And yeah, you've done such a good job of keeping it nice. Just what a cool machine. I hope you found this video entertaining and informative. And until next time, enjoy the ride.